Episode 1. Welcome and Happy New Year. 2018 kicks off now, just like our show. Ironically, right? Wherever you are, I'm sure it's cold and freezing, unless you're in Southern California, where the Rose Bowl is going to be played today. Great job. Really proud of you guys, and really jealous. Right here we got snow, which is Tennessee. We don't normally have snow, but it's snowing. Our pools have frozen over. It's great. Well, now that I wish you all a Happy New Year, let's get down to business. Today is the college football playoff. The college football playoff, 4 teams will face off against each other for a chance to play in the national championship and ultimately be crowned national champion. Today, starting off, the first game being number 3 Georgia playing number 2 Oklahoma. The story of this game is Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is coming off of being with the flu. One of the greatest seasons we've ever seen as a college football quarterback. And on top of that, outstanding arm. Baker Mayfield, he's not being talked about yet, but he will be being talked as the number 1 quarterback in the draft coming up here very soon. There's nobody who has his kind of athleticism, his arm, his accuracy, and just the overall skill set combined. But Mayfield has been one of the biggest targets we have seen, the biggest players ever in college football. Kirby Smart has been able to pull off some incredible things at Georgia in just 2 years. Since taking over Georgia as he was a defensive coordinator at Alabama, since he came over to Georgia, Georgia has become a completely different program. Mark Richt was the coach there before, now coaching Miami. As we all saw, a great 10-0 start and then an 0-3 finish. Mark Richt just was never able to do anything with that program. Whereas here, Kirby Smart in 2 years is bringing him toward a national title. What he has been able to accomplish in those 2 years with incredible recruiting classes and pretty much everything Mark Richt never was able to accomplish has been great. You have to give him credit. He's been awesome. Georgia is a legitimate program now. That being said, this game is going to come down to Oklahoma's spread against Georgia's pound. Oklahoma runs a spread offense, which means everybody's spread out all over the place. You generally go with 3 or 4 receivers. You have a running back. It's a lot of shotgun snaps. And you spread the defense out. You want to thin them so you get a lot of one-on-one matchups with defensive backs and basically encourage them to sit back into a zone coverage. Georgia offensively runs the completely different offense, which is almost polar opposite of what Oklahoma runs, which is pound. They have 2 great running backs who will probably be going in the first couple days of the NFL draft next year. They were both seniors, Nick Chubb and Sony Michel, and they like to run the ball. They like to pound it over and over and over and over, straight down into your throat. That's how Georgia plays football, and that's how they've gone 12-1 this year. Despite all that, and despite having a great defense, I believe in the Baker. I think Baker is the guy. And this year, Oklahoma is 12-1 as well, and they've basically been willed to victory by this guy. He's just, as a leader, he's just that incredible. I honestly can't see it going any other way. I'm going to go with Oklahoma by 12. The next game in the lineup will be played tonight, and it'll be the rematch part 3. Alabama and Clemson will be matching off again. Clemson right now is the number 1 team in the nation, ranked at least anyways by the playoff committee. And Alabama is currently the 4th. Both teams are coming into this. They're Alabama's 11-1, Clemson's 12-1. Both have 1 loss on the year. And this is really going to come down to who is the better quarterback now. Jalen Hurts is a true sophomore who took over the Alabama program last year and looked pretty good considering he was a true freshman. He took them to the national championship and almost won it with a game-winning drive, scored a touchdown with 2 minutes to go, but ultimately Deshaun Watson would bring his team down and score a touchdown with a second left to play. So Jalen Hurts this year has looked better at times as a passer than he was last year, but he still seems to fall short in some regard. So the real question here is going to be, is Jalen Hurts a better quarterback than Clemson's Kelly Bryant? Kelly Bryant has been phenomenal this year. When you watch him on tape, and he's been struggling with injuries throughout the entire year, but his tape is still fantastic because what he's doing is he's basically running the same offense Deshaun Watson ran, except he's being called more as a runner, where Watson would generally scramble and make something out of nothing. Whereas this guy, Bryant, he plays a lot with, he's very, very quarterback designed runs, which they didn't call as much with Watson. And so he's ultimately a running back who can throw the football. That's who he is for Clemson, and that's what Alabama's going to be facing that's a little bit different than what they have the past couple of games against Clemson. So whoever has the better game at quarterback here is going to have the better advantage. They're both going up against stifling defenses, but Bama's especially. Bama right now has 7 defensive players that could be picked in the first 5 rounds of the NFL draft this year. That's a scary thought. The entire defensive line's going to go. The entire linebacking core is going to go. You got Minka Fitzpatrick and Ronnie Harrison playing the safeties. Anthony Averett is a corner who's supposed to go in the first couple rounds as well. It's a big name defense, and it's a defense that's stepped up all year, and that's what's going to be the challenge here for Clemson, with Kelly Bryant trying to make plays happen. If the Clemson offensive line can play better than they have all year, Clemson's going to make this a game. And I honestly think they will. I think they're going to bring Alabama a lot of different things that Alabama hasn't seen yet, and it might confuse them a little bit at first. But that defense is going to be difficult for Clemson to get past. The prediction? Sorry, folks. If you're a Clemson fan, I think your magical carpet ride ends here. I'm going with Alabama by 3. There you have it. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe, like, help me out with my Facebook page, my YouTube page, everything coming at you now. I'm going to bring you football, basketball, hockey, baseball, whatever's on my mind. I'm going to spit it out here to you guys now. So, peace out. Live right. I'll see you soon.
Yeah.